As far back as I can remember, my brother and I were always blessed with pet rodents. Our parents got them for us, for one reason or another, maybe to teach us responsibility. The first gerbil I had died because my brother and I were horsing around. I don't know why we were fighting over my gerbil, but somehow he ended up in a Hail Mary pass and landed on the ground. It seemed like he broke his leg. The next day, it didn't seem like he would be living much longer. A few years after him, I got a white mouse named Mickey. I probably gave Mickey the best life out of all of my rodents. He lived much longer than a mouse is expected to. He died when he was probably 3.5 years old. I couldn't get another rodent for some years. The idea that I would always outlive my pets was pretty disturbing. After I was done grieving Mickey, I got a black mouse when I was in high school. I named him Melvin. Melvin I only had for about a month. One day I walked past his cage and I noticed that some of his droppings were green. So I opened up the cage to have a look at him, and he wasn't breathing very well. He seemed to be kind of itchy and scratchy, and as I looked around his head, I saw these little white dots. When I got a magnifying glass out, I saw that these dots were moving, that there were parasites invading his fur. And in just a couple of minutes, as I was holding him in my hand, he started thrashing vigorously at his ear. And he was squeaking, and he was thrashing, and he was squeaking, until finally he went limp. The parasites had killed him, and I was devastated. I was especially upset because I knew that this could have been avoided had I changed his cage more often. But I got over it, and eventually I was propositioned to adopt a couple of rats. I've never owned rats before, so of course I said yes. They were leftovers from some Freudian experiment at a local college. The girl who had them couldn't keep them anymore because she was in a dormitory and they didn't allow for pets. So I said, sure, I'll take them off your hands. And they were awesome. They weren't antisocial, they weren't quiet. They roamed about my room without a care in the world. Aside from food, of course. But what took them was cancer. You see, female rats, if they live long enough, they'll get mammary tumors, breast cancer tumors. They got them around the same time, but Mildred's grew much larger and much quicker than Gertrude's. I started feeling really bad for them because these tumors were getting rather large and impeding their motion. It was hard for them to walk around. I couldn't afford to euthanize them at the vet, and my parents wouldn't let me do it. Of course not, that would be insane. But Mildred's fate was pretty terrible. When her tumor was at its largest, she started picking at it. And she broke the skin, and the tumor became exposed. It was a tan, fleshy, putty-like substance. And she would chew it. It was disgusting. She died about a week later after bleeding out. After my parents saw what happened to the first rat, they were much more sympathetic to the idea of euthanizing the second at the vet. It cost us $60. They returned her to us in a shoebox wrapped in tissue paper. And when I started college, I got 2 new mice, Spark and Theo. Spark developed a skin disease right away. I took him to the vet and spent my last $40 on him. Ironic, since mice cost $1.50 at the pet store. The veterinarian gave me antibiotics to treat him with, and after a week of treatment, he died. He bled out. Theo is the last remaining member of this family. It appears as though he's got the same skin disease that Spark got. And I guess he'll be going pretty soon too. I don't know why I get new pets just so that I can outlive them. I'm gonna miss you, Theo.